my name's Marci. I'm a intern here at Ogden Behavioral Health. It says here that your name's Michaela, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, is that your preferred name, or is there anything else that you'd like to be called?
No, that's good.
Okay, I'll call you Michaela then. All right, so here at Ogden Behavioral Health, we do focus on mental illness and also treatment plans. During our 8-week session, that's what we'll be focusing on. Is that kind of what you were thinking? Okay, so it says here that you've been experiencing some issues with depression. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right, so I just wanted to let you know that whatever is discussed in my office will be confidential. So the only time I'm allowed to break that is if you are experiencing suicidal thoughts or your harm to others. Also, if I'm called to court and I'm subpoenaed my notes, I will have to break that. Or if you give me consent. All right? Does that sound okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So during our meetings, I would just want to encourage you to be open and honest with me, and then I will also do the same. And then I just would like you to be on time and respectful during our 50 minutes. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about your depressive thoughts and what really brought you in.
So my parents got a divorce when I was like 8, and my mom says that that's when she realized that I had something going on. It was a little bit more than just like being upset. But she didn't think a whole lot of it. She thought it was just a phase that I grew out of. Me and my dad were really close. So living with her and then having him move away after he got engaged was really hard. And then junior high is not easy for anybody, and it especially wasn't easy for me because I was the only openly gay kid at my school. So I got a lot of shit for that, and I think that's just kind of when it all started going really downhill.
Okay. So was it when you were 8 that you think it really started, or was it more middle school age?
I think 8 was kind of just like a really deep sadness. I don't know that I'd label it depression. I think, I've just lost my best friend. I think that'd be hard for anybody. But I think that I'd say around 12 or 13 is when the depression started kicking in. Because, when my dad left, there were still days where I could wake up and be okay.
Yeah.
And then there were days in junior high where I'd have everything lined up for me, and I'd be set, and then I literally couldn't get out of bed that morning. That's when my mom took me, and I got formally diagnosed. But now I have a diagnosis. That's really it. Not much has changed.
So you were formally diagnosed with depression. Was that around that same time in middle school?
Yeah, it was. I got officially diagnosed right before my 16th birthday.
Okay. All right. Did you get prescribed any medication?
Yeah. So I was on a couple different medications, but they messed with me pretty bad. A lot of them made me really nauseous, made me kind of feel psychotic. Like I already have depression. I don't want more stuff going on in my head.
Yeah.
I'm also not a super big fan of pills. They're really hard for me to swallow, and just take in general. So we've been trying to do more pills in smaller sizes, but then that's been hard to keep up with because I take basically 4 small pills in the morning, 4 small pills in the afternoon, and then 2 before the night to help me with my insomnia. So I do take medication, but I don't like it.
Okay. So you are still taking those medications?
Yeah, that's like the only way that I can really function.
Okay. So have there been any instances where you went off the medication?
Yeah. Late 2016, I tried getting off the medication. That was before we switched to the smaller pills and at a lower dosage. So it was on a completely different brand. And I was off for about 3 weeks, and I lost a lot of weight because the pills made me gain weight. I lost a bunch of weight. And and that kind of pissed me off. I wasn't a big fan of that, so I was pretty anxious to get back on them, but as soon as I got back on them, they made me more psychotic, and so it was really that, and then early 2018 is when I tried getting off of them long term, and I was off of them for about 3.5 months, and I had a suicide attempt.
Okay.
And that's when they realized that we really needed to stay on the medication but make it easier for me to take.
Okay. So has there been more suicidal thoughts, or was that like the main time you can remember?
That was like the main one. I mean, I don't think they ever really go away. They just haven't been as strong lately. They were really strong then because my dad's girlfriend had a baby, and it kind of made me feel like I was getting replaced because I hadn't seen my dad for a while. And, he calls me every once in a while, and he texts me, but it's not like having a dad,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I can imagine that's really difficult to see your dad having another kid.
Yeah, like the whole another family. It's like me and my mom. Like, I exist, and my mom just doesn't, to him, and that's hard.
So tell me about your regular schedule, like a day in the life of Michaela.
So I usually get up. I only do half-day school, basically. All of my courses are later at night. Because it's really hard for me to get up in the morning. So I generally get up around 9:30 or 10. I eat some breakfast so I can take my medication. I generally go to work from anywhere from like 12:30 to 5:30. I only work part-time. And then from 5:30 to 8:10 is when my night classes fall.
Okay.
And like I said, breakfast, lunch, dinner, I eat, medication. And I'm generally up all night. I generally stay up until 1 or 2 at night, working on homework, listening to music, watching shows, just because I can't sleep. Like, my body won't let me.
Okay.
And then I wake up and just repeat.
Okay. So what brought you in today? Like, at what point were you considering like a new plan?
So I don't like talk to a lot of people at school. One time I tried opening up to somebody was at my mom's church, and they were really supportive, and then they found out that I was gay, and they just completely shut me down and said they wouldn't do anything unless I considered conversion therapy, which isn't something that I'd ever do. So I thought if I talk to somebody who's a professional, somebody who knows like what's going on in my head and a little bit more of my situation, that might help me rather than going to some church guy who just doesn't want me to like girls.
Right. So do you think your attraction to girls has anything to do with your depression?
I think definitely it does. I find it so much easier to talk to guys. All of my friends are men, and I just kind of connect with them a lot easier, and I see them talking to women, and it seems to come so easily, but I can't. Like, that's just something that I can't do, and I think that kind of gets to me, because I want a girlfriend. I'd really love to have one. I'd like to think I have some good qualities, but I just kind of can't push myself out there enough to talk to somebody.
Okay, so tell me about your strengths. Like, what are you passionate about? Like, what do you love to do?
I'm really into music.
Music.
I love music. My mom got me a guitar last Christmas, and that's I think that's actually helped me a lot. We call that my other medication. Practice that whenever I have some free time, or if I'm up super late or super early in the morning, I'll generally watch videos on how to play new songs, look through books, practice chords. So I think maybe that would be a strength. And I'm self-taught, I didn't take any lessons or anything. That's entirely on me. But other than that, I do okay in school. I'm no Albert Einstein, but I get the job done.
Yeah.
But really, that's about it.
Okay. So guitar is like your main passion, or or do you sing, or do you write music?
No, just guitar. I feel like music's a really personal thing, so the way that it makes me feel might make somebody else feel a little bit different, and so that's kind of just what I try to do with my music, is invoke some type of feeling so people can feel, which is something I've had such a hard time doing for so long, you know.
Yeah. So in a way, it's like a way for you to express yourself without like words.
Exactly, without putting too much of myself out there, without getting criticized or
feeling as vulnerable.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's really awesome. Do you know how many days like you typically work on your guitar, or is it just kind of like when you're having a good day?
No, it's 7 days a week.
Okay.
Generally, it kind of depends. It varies in time and homework. Again, finals week, it's still 7 days a week, but it's maybe 15 to 20 minutes a day, as opposed to an hour and a half. You know.
And that's kind of like the joy in your life right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So, what are some goals that you have for yourself in your future?
I don't know. I really want to get a job where that forces me to interact with people a little bit more.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I really just want to push myself out of my shell. I want to get a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I mean, in all reality, that's the end game. That's the goal. You know, because I'm 22 years old. I want to get out, do my own thing. Tired of living with my mom and her yelling at me for playing the guitar at 1:30 in the morning. You know, but really, I think socialization would help so many other things in my life fall into place. I also want to try and get in contact with my dad a little bit more.
Okay. When was the last time you talked to your dad?
It's probably been 3 months.
3 months?
I'd say, yeah.
Did you guys leave on a bad note, or you just kind of...
No, we both just got busy. You know, he's got a new baby and a new family, and I'm starting a new semester at school at that time. So I think our schedules just never really aligned. You know, I keep up with him on Instagram. He posts every once in a while, but other than that, not a whole lot.
Okay. So where do you go to school?
I go to Weber.
Okay, awesome. And do you have like a specific major in mind, or you just kind of go in?
Yeah, musical arts.
Awesome. So you are kind of already trying to incorporate your passion in your daily life.
Yeah, definitely.
As well as in like your professional life. Okay. Do you see anyone at school that you think that you would be friends with? Or is it just kind of like you're in a bubble and you don't look?
No, you know, I have some friends. Most of them are guys that I, bump into at the gym when I actually get to go.
Okay.
Or I work at the coffee shop down on 25th, and sometimes they pop in. So one of my friends works at the coffee shop, and then I have 2 or 3 here at Weber that I get along with pretty well. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of people that I go out with. Not a whole lot that I do.
Okay. Do you see? Do you have like a sense that maybe you have some like social anxiety, or is it just you kind of don't put yourself out there?
I think I might have a little bit of social anxiety. I think part of that comes with the depression, though. You know, I want to get out there and I want to push myself to talk to people, and I always am afraid they're not going to want to.
Yeah.
That I convince myself that that's what they're actually thinking, that's what they're actually feeling. And I know now that that's all in my head, but in the moment it all seems
real. Yeah. So you kind of doubt yourself.
Definitely.
In those situations.
Definitely.
I can see how that would be hard to meet new people for sure. So are you working like every day, or?
Yeah, I work 5 days a week.
Okay.
I work kind of the midday shift, so we close at 5:30. That's generally when I start class.
Yeah.
So I work until like 5, and then the 2 other people work in their close up, and then I'm off to classes.
Okay. And you're friends with the people you work with?
One of them, yeah.
One of them.
Yeah. The rest are girls.
Okay.
So that's kind of difficult.
So are all your friends girls? I mean, all your friends guys?
Yeah.
All of them are. Okay.
So maybe that's another goal. Make friends with the girl. I don't have to
Okay.
date her. We don't have to fall in love. But, you know.
Okay. All right. So from what it sounds like, I think that we have a few things that we can start working on that I would like you to kind of think about for our next session. Probably trying to overcome some of your social anxiety with talking to girls, not only for romantic reasons, but friendship reasons, just because I think that having girls in your life will probably benefit you, just more relatable or just having that extra social interaction.
Yeah.
So that was probably one of the things I'd like you to think about for the next week until we meet. Also, I would like to explore some different treatment options for your depression, because it sounds like you've been on the same medication or similar medications for quite a few years now, and they're not super effective, or you don't feel like they are.
Yeah.
So I'd like to maybe look into some alternative methods, maybe meditation or yoga or something. Have you ever tried either of those?
I thought about meditation, but it's hard for me to focus.
Okay. So, so, I mean, you do say that you work out sometimes, so maybe we can incorporate some of that into like your workout schedule.
For sure.
Do those sound okay for now?
Yeah, those
Is there
sound
anything
great.
else that you're thinking, or do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure meeting with you tonight, and I will see you next week.
Sweet. Thank you.